What is up, ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, no, it is not a Magic Leap episode. This little countdown thing, see, I need to create something like this to maybe do it like 5 minutes before we start a show, with the idea that it allows people to spool into chat, people get notified that there is a show, blah, 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 blah. So maybe this is something that I should actually do, like 5 minutes before the show starts up, do a little countdown timer of some type. And I don't have one pre-prepared, so I just was running this little Magic Leap thing. So basically that is pretty much all that was. But yeah, welcome everybody. This is episode 200 of the show, the big 2-0. And it's not a big deal at all. It is not a big deal in the slightest, really, because it's a daily show. So you're going to get to 200 pretty quick, especially if you're doing 7 days a week. You know, if you're doing 7 days a week, you're going to get to 200 pretty damn quickly. And that's what we've been able to do here. And what is this show all about? Well, it is the Daily Vlog Live, and we just try to cover the latest VR gaming news, whatever's going on in the VR gaming world. We try to talk about some of the big releases, first impressions, that kind of stuff. That is what we do here. That is what it's all about. Might as well go ahead and run my trailer a little bit early today. A lot of times a late start on the trailer. Let's go ahead and run this trailer right about now. And yeah, this is VR Game Rankings Daily Vlog Live, episode 200. It is Thursday. It is September 13th. And, you know, a lot of people are still recovering from yesterday. A lot of people maybe grabbed Windlands yesterday. So I'm very curious to see, what do you guys think about Windlands? And you know, Mame Fan actually sent me an email where he has some very specific thoughts about Windlands 2 after getting into it initially. So I'm also interested, anybody else out there, anybody that has an Oculus Rift, did you grab Windlands 2 yesterday? And if you didn't grab Windlands 2, why not? You know, why not? But let me go ahead and throw a different trailer on here, a rando trailer. And let me see here. How about Rolling Line? Here's a rando trailer that we can put on here. Rolling Line, this train game looks kind of cool. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see what is going on in chat right about this time. Nick Daniels says, thank you, Anthony, for offering us all an HTC Vive Pro for your 200th episode. Yeah, absolutely. If you can guess my middle name in Spanish and then convert it to Latin and then convert it to Mandarin, you win yourself a Magic Leap 1, ladies and gentlemen, or something like that. I don't know. Nick Daniels, yeah, Hybrid Energy says he's going to talk about the Tragic Heap. No, not really. That is just a little countdown thing. And Supersonicsation says, hey, before I forget, Fallout 4 VR is $20 at CD Keys. $20? $19.94 for Fallout 4 VR at worldwide at CD Keys. That must be like a freaking stolen key or something, because how the hell do you get it for $19.94? But if that's truly legit, and you don't already own Fallout 4, you absolutely got to grab that. That is an incredible deal if that is actually legit. Dave D says, I haven't played Windlands 1, so basically saying, I don't know, I'm probably would start with Windlands 1 if I'm going to go down that road. Mame Fan is in the building. Like I said a little bit earlier, he sent me an email where he was talking a little bit about his take on Windlands 2. Basically, he was kind of giving his concerns with Windlands 2, and I thought we could talk about that a little bit because I think it's a bit interesting there. Phil Yarn says, I didn't buy Windlands 2 because I have the first game, and I have yet to really start playing it. But once I finish, I plan on getting Windlands 2. So basically, he's saying, look, I've got Windlands 1. I've barely cracked anything in there. I haven't really gotten into Windlands 1. Let me go back into that before I jump into number 2. And that's something that developers have to deal with anytime they name a game blah blah number 2. You know, whenever they make a game number 2, anybody that hasn't played number 1 is wondering, do I really need to play number 1 first? I probably need to play number 1 first. So that gives them a built-in excuse not to have to grab number 2 right away because they haven't played number 1. Now, if you are an Oculus Rift owner, they do have a bundle and it's $20. You get both games. Not a bad deal, not a terribly bad deal, because you're kind of paying $10 for the first game. But I also understand this idea, maybe grabbing Windlands 1 on some type of Steam sale, and then later on grabbing Windlands 2 down the road. But it is a really good game. I really feel like Windlands 2 is a primetime game. And since we're on the subject of Windlands 2, I guess we might as well get into a little bit of talk about Windlands 2. And I think, I can kind of bring up what MainFan has been talking about, some of his criticisms towards Windlands 2. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So let me see here. MainFan, one of his complaints about Windlands 2 is he doesn't remember really seeing a bow tutorial, that as soon as the tutorial ended, there was like this dragon that you're supposed to hit with your bow, but that he didn't really know how to use your bow. And by the time he learned how to do it, the dragon was gone. So he kind of feels like there maybe needs to be a bit better of a tutorial on how to use your bow and arrow in Windlands 2, which is probably true because when I was playing through Windlands 2, I kind of had to learn that on my own. I had to learn you got to grip, you got to do both grips. You got to grip to activate your bow, and then you got to grip again where that ball is and grab that ball, and then that becomes your arrow, and then you can let it go. It does take a little bit of time to figure out how to do the bow and arrow, but I mean, once you figure it out, you pretty much got it. But yeah, a tutorial could be a little bit better. The other thing that MainFan had to say about it, he said that the first boss was very hard and attacked too much, and it seemed like it was basically just too harsh for a first boss. And I kind of agree with this. The first boss is ridiculously hard, or either I really suck and MainFan really sucks, because it took me a while to deal with the first boss. And the one thing I will say though is when you finally get past that first boss and you finally kill that first boss, you really feel a sense of satisfaction and you're kind of exhilarated and pumped up because you've been dealing with this boss for a while. And I feel like that battle against that first boss is entertaining. It's captivating. So even when you die, it's not the most horrible thing. And then also, when you die in Windlands, bam, you're right back there. There's not a long delay. There's not a long pause. When you die in Windlands, boom, you get right back there. It is the absolute opposite of something like Arizona Sunshine, where when you die, you're waiting 3 minutes to get back into the game again. And so I died a million times, it seemed, against that boss, but bam, you're right back into the game. So that is really good. One other thing MainFan would really have loved to have seen was an ability to slow down time while in the air with your arrow drawn, very similar to Breath of the Wild. And it's funny he mentions this, because this is something that I tried to do while I was in Windlands 2. I tried to like jump up and grab my, and try to like really be that freaking Hawkeye guy, like jumping up in the air, pulling my arrow out, bam, and letting it go and hitting the boss perfectly and, just feeling that exhilaration. I tried to do that. It's hard to do that because you'll just start falling down. You do need some kind of slow-mo or something to be able to do that. Of course, that could then make the game way too easy. So there's always these kinds of trade-offs. He also talks about in level 1, there's a tremendous amount of backtracking, which I didn't really think about that when I was playing it, but it's actually kind of true. Yeah, there is some backtracking there. And then one of his biggest complaints as well is that the momentum. So if you play Windlands 1 and you're swinging along and then you jump to this platform and you're about to land on this platform, your momentum is such that when you hit the ground, you better have a bit of a landing. You need to have a landing strip there, because if you hit the edge, boom, you're going off the edge and you're dying. You're not gonna stick your landing. And he was kind of hoping that maybe with Windlands 2, you wouldn't have quite as much of that momentum, and that you would be able to get on a surface and kind of stick there. So these were some of his complaints, and which all of them are pretty much legit. All of them do make sense, but it's a great game. I mean, the game is a great game. Windlands 2 is a great game. Those of you that are passing on Windlands 2 because of the price, or you haven't played Windlands 1 or whatever, all of it's understandable. It's all rationalization. You can absolutely pass on this game, but you're missing probably, well, maybe the biggest game in September. You might be missing the biggest VR experience in September. We'll see. We'll have to see Transference. You know, that is the 18th of this month, which it's next week, right? I guess that's next Tuesday. Bam! Transference is next Tuesday. Guys, there's a lot of stuff actually next Tuesday on the 18th. Blind comes out on Tuesday. I'm guessing it's Tuesday, right? So a lot of stuff is coming on in just a few days, so that will be exciting next week. Absolutely. Now, there is a release today. There's a brand new game that came out today. Let me see if I have the trailer for it set up, and of course I don't. Let me see if I can find it real quick, because we do have a brand new release that is coming out today. Yeah, Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. So this game is out today. Let's go ahead and check out its trailer because it is launch day. Let's give it a little bit of love here. So that is Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. And you know what? I'm looking at the Steam page here. This is the Steam page right here. Now, this is brought to us by the Martov Company. It says release date September 13th, 2018. But it still says coming soon. This item is not yet available. So maybe they might be having a slight problem with this, because you know what I was going to report on? I was going to say that I reached out to the Martov Company and I said, hey, Chiaro and the Elixir of Life, this looks really cool. I'd love to check it out. I'd love a review code for this game. And they did provide me with a review code. And I didn't have much time because the show was coming up, but I thought maybe I could jump into the game real quick before the show starts and kind of give people I thought this was already out and available and it was selling and all of that. And I tried to get into it a number of different times and it kept having some weird problem with the executable. So maybe they're having a slight problem here, and that's why the game is not available yet. So, but it should be coming soon. It should be coming very soon. So that's certainly not an ideal situation for the Martov Company. Their launch day has been possibly spoiled slightly with something about their executable or something, because I did have a number of problems. I thought maybe it was just my problem and everybody else was playing the game fine. It was available. You could buy it, but maybe it's not available quite yet. So anyway, we'll have to see. September 13th was supposed to be the date for this. I think it does look cool. It does look interesting. I like the visuals. Not sure exactly what the price was going to be on this. But yeah, hopefully that will be coming maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, or within the very near future. So that is Chiaro and the Elixir of Life. That was one of the things that we were going to take a look at. Now, let's see here. What else did we want to get into? You know, I do have a trailer from a couple of days ago. Now, this is the Tokyo Game Show, and this is one that we missed. You might remember that, I think it was Monday, right? Monday was PSVR day. Bam, bam, bam. Trailer after trailer. Brand new trailer after brand new trailer for PlayStation VR. We got the date for Deracine. We got a new Astrobot trailer, a new Blood and Truth trailer. Some of the footage was new, some of it was old, but all kinds of new trailers popped off. Hot Shots Golf VR. Hot Shots Golf VR. We got that back Monday. Kill X, or X Kill, or whatever it's called. All kinds of different games coming to PSVR, right? Well, here's another one. This one is called Demo Reborn, and I don't know anything about this, so let's check it out. We can check it out together. Don't know anything about it. 'All right, so that is Demo Reborn. That does appear to probably be a 2019 release for PlayStation VR. It looks pretty weird. It almost looks like some type of rhythm action game at some point, but I don't know. I can't really figure this one out. This one does look quite weird. Don't know if this is going to make the journey stateside. Not sure if this will end up being brought to the USA PlayStation Store or maybe the European PlayStation Store as well. This could possibly be a Japan-only release, although nowadays, the way the games are developed nowadays, and it's such a region-free thing that basically so many different games, like they could pop this onto the European and American downloadable store, and it doesn't really cost them anything to really do that. So other than possibly some support issues if it's not translated very well, but it could end up in the USA. Hybrid Energy says it's a music game after those PSP music games from Japan. Okay, the only reason I wanted to play this trailer just because this was a trailer for PSVR. It was at Tokyo Game Show, and it was one of the few that I missed. So that's the only reason I wanted to talk about that. Airman929565, does Fallout 4 play well on Oculus? Pretty well. It plays pretty well. You have to, there's like some different little mod things that you have to kind of do to dial it in. But last I heard, you might have to want to check into a guide on Fallout 4 on Oculus Rift to kind of dial it in, but it should play pretty well. I don't know if like the regular Steam version was patched to work better with Oculus. It's been so long. Fallout 4 VR probably was my favorite VR game of 2017 for the entire year. I would rank it number one, but I haven't spent a lot of time in it because it's overwhelming. It would take my life away. I can't fall in love with Fallout 4 VR, not when I've got to cover all these other things. I just can't do it. Dave D says, I know Anthony couldn't stop talking about cool it was on his, I guess, probably Oculus Rift. Yes, because I was playing on Oculus Rift. Yeah, we did VR Roundtable. We did our Game of the Year voting for 2017, and my vote was Fallout 4 VR, number one, despite all of its issues. I felt it was number one, period. Crunchy says, does Fallout 4 VR play well on anything, really? You know, it's going to have a little bit of issues on everything. But yeah, I absolutely, definitely Fallout 4, one of the absolute best VR games you could possibly get. And just the entire world of Fallout and having it surround you. I mean, that's kind of what the dream is all about, really. But you know what, folks? I do have some minor, like, interesting type of news to get into today. I kind of have kind of like an exclusive, but not really. And that is Jet Island, ladies and gentlemen. I've gotten my hands on Jet Island. I have actually tried Jet Island. Now, here's the deal. This game comes out on September 21st, and there is an embargo. There's an embargo on this game. I cannot review Jet Island. I can't give like my finalized thoughts on Jet Island, but I can tell you that I've tried this game. I have been in this world. I have played this, and I can kind of give you kind of my first impressions on it so far. And basically, there's good news and there's bad news about Jet Island. And we'll go ahead and start it off. Let's start it off with the bad news. And really, the main bad news that I have with this game is that I feel like the learning curve of playing it is pretty freaking harsh. Like, there is a learning curve in playing Jet Island. I've been in this game, I've been playing this game, and when I was, for the first couple of times I was in it, I was kind of struggling to wrap my head around how to control everything. For example, you see those web slinging, kind of like Windlands, Spider-Man style. You see that web slinging type thing, and so you naturally assume, oh, this is going to be exactly like Windlands, but it's not really. It's not really like Windlands. It definitely has its own kind of physics. It's different. It's a different kind of a game. And my very first impression was, oh man, this game's going to be hard to, I don't know how to control it. I don't know what I'm doing. And I started to almost think, oh no, Jet Island is going to be a disappointment. But then the more I started playing it, I started getting a feel for how you control this thing. And the one thing that I really like about this game is the island that you're on. This island that you're on, you can explore like every square inch of this island at incredibly blazing speeds. And it really has a cool look to it. Like, the visual aesthetic is interesting. It's got like this metallic look, but then it has like an earthy look. You feel like you're on some alien planet. And you're like flying through this game, going up these gigantic cliffs and hills and mountains, and you're going up so incredibly fast, and then boom, you go launching into the air, and you're like thousands of feet in the air, and then you look down and you're coming back down, and you're like, oh, and you're coming back down like that. And when I was playing it, and when I was getting these moments of just like going way up in the sky and coming back down, I was kind of like free floating and just really vibing with the experience. Now, on the downside, though, like doing the Spider-Man thing, it is not like Windlands. It's not like just a Windlands kind of thing. It's more of a physics thing. Like, I think this game, I think Jet Island has much more realistic physics, which is good and bad. It's good because it's realistic. It's bad because maybe realism is not as fun as being able to just do anything and everything kind of Windland style. Because when you use your grappling hook in this game, you're really kind of letting that thing take you. You gotta like go with it and then use it again. So you gotta like use the momentum, which is a little bit different than the way it is in Windlands. And it's kind of, I'm playing both of these games back to back. Yeah, this comes out on September 21st. And the way I understand it is this is probably going to be $20, but the price could possibly change. But probably you'll find it on Steam for $19.99 and on the Oculus Store for $19.99. I'm guessing, but again, the price can change. It's not officially locked in or anything, but September 21st is the date. The one thing that I am happy to report on is this game is worthy of checking out. It is absolutely worthy of checking out from a standpoint that you're given this huge giant playground to play in, and it's kind of like a surreal, you're just going places, you're exploring, and you're just surfing. It's like you're surfing these mountains and you're surfing all these different statues and monuments and things that are like there. It's a big island. Now, if I was going to go negative, one of the negative things I would say is like when you're looking at the sky above you and everything, it's just a straight flat texture. You know, it's just a freaking wallpaper. So it's not like when you look up at the stars and you're looking up at like other planets or whatever, it's not like you see anything 3D at all. It is just a straight up flat texture, and you can kind of see that by looking at this video here. So that's a slight downer. The graphics are kind of simplistic. The game ran well. I got a 970. It ran beautifully and smoothly. I like the water. I like the music. The sound effects are good. You have these jets that are on your wrist. And so the jets on your wrist are really the key. And then you're on your hoverboard and you're trying to steer yourself. And I'm still dealing with the controls though. You know, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the controls. And again, this is not a review. This is barely a preview. This is scratching the surface, as we like to say. Barely scratched the surface, played it a number of times, but I am very encouraged by what I've seen. And, you know, we'll wait and see. I mean, this is coming on September 21st. So as we get closer, obviously, we'll definitely get more into it as we get a little bit further down the line. So I'll go ahead and put on this other video of Jet Island temporarily and then let's see what people are talking about here in chat. Crunchy says, that actually sounds cool. You have a learning curve and then you really get into it. Yeah, I believe there is a learning curve here. I really do. Logan68 says Silver Surfer. It pretty much is a chill, explore this giant world, go up ramps and fly off into the air. That really what this game is. It does have a pretty cool vibe and like the metallic textured look, like the way the oceans look. It all has kind of a cool look to it, even though it's kind of simplistic and basic, but it has this like, I don't know, it has an alien look to it. Like the world that you're on kind of has this, like you're exploring an ancient alien civilization and you're just kind of hoverboarding it all over the place with your jet wrists. And then you can grab things and you can pull yourself up, but it's kind of like you gotta grab, pull. You kind of have to do this. You're kind of doing this, almost like what was the game? Sprint Vector. You kind of have to do that when you're doing the Spider-Man thing. So yeah, that is Jet Island. So we will be checking that definitely in the future. Definitely hyped on that. Of course, you know, with Windlands right now being the big deal, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays itself out. Okay, now speaking of Magic Leap, I actually do have an interesting little Magic Leap video to check out. This is really short. Let's check this out because I think it's going to have some basis towards the future of AR, especially out in the public, and how it's going to video gamify everything. Let's check this out. This is kind of cool, folks. This guy's on like an electric skateboard in Santa Monica or something. So anyway, I kind of, I kind of looped this video. So disclaimers, Magic Leap 1, no likey, the low light from the fog cover, and Magic Leap 1, no likey, fast motion over long distances. And all this footage was captured directly from the headset, but the guy chopped it up. Like he just took clips when it was working. And the guy talks about this video, and he talks afterwards, like if you go to where this video is, he talks about it for a little while, and he says that basically like it didn't work very well, and so he had to like just sample the parts of it where it did work. But he said when it was working, that it was really, really magical. Bullet Ape says, if that's the future of gaming, I'm out. I'm out. And for that reason, I'm out. If that's the future of gaming, I'm out. Dude, this is the future of gaming, Bullet Ape. I fear for you, Bullet Ape. Oh, they can't hear me. Wait, did I cut my volume down? Ah, fuck. I think my volume is up. Okay. My volume is up, so hopefully things are right here. I did turn down this game trailer. Okay, yeah, it looks janktastic, said Kinty Poo. But here's the thing, guys. It's going to be the gamification of real life. We're going to have these goggles on our heads, and if you want to go, let's say you want to do some exercise. Just imagine you're going on a little jog or you're riding your bike. Think how exercising is going to be improved by incredible leaps and bounds, because you're going to be able to ride your bike throughout your neighborhood, and you're going to have your AR goggles on, and like you're going to see ghosts and stuff, and you're going to have to, like, maybe in the game you're supposed to ride up to where the ghosts are and touch them or something, and you get points. It's going to be the gamification of real life. Nobody's going to be fat. Nobody is ever going to be fat. How is anybody going to be fat? We're going to be walking everywhere grabbing coins like Mario. It's collectathons, man. We're going to be collecting things. We're going to be running, jumping, grabbing coins. A lot of people are going to die, though. A lot of people will be hit by some self-driving cars that aren't synced in with your Mario game. There will be some madness, you know. Cats and dogs living together, all of that, you know, there will be some madness here, but it's going to be the gamification of real life. The gamification of real life. Dude, people are going to be doing speed runs on going to their local grocery store and getting a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs. And like, I'm in a regular Safeway. I'm starting in the parking lot. Now I'm going to go in and I'm going to buy a gallon of milk and a dozen eggs. And this is my record time. And other people are going to try to beat everybody else's record time. It is going to be the gamification of real life. And that's why I kind of like this video, because I think it gives you just the tiniest glimpse 10 years into the future. That's kind of what Magic Leap is. Magic Leap is 10 years in the future. The gamification of real life. You're almost going to run into this grandma here, but you're trying to collect the damn coins. Grandma, get out of the way. I'm trying to get these coins. It's going to be the gamification of real life. Greg's VR says, too dangerous a distraction. If you think about how distracted people are now, oh my God, exponentially, it's going to get really bad. Hybrid Energy says, great, I'm going to be dodging AR Pokemon hunters. My windshield wipers are ready. Yeah, we're going to have to make our cars like, you know, the zombie apocalypse with all kinds of stuff on the front just to collect all the bodies that pile up in front of our cars because of people that stepped out into traffic when they're trying to be Mario. Greg's VR says AR is 20 years away. 20 years away? Nah, dude, he's doing it right now, man. How is this 20 years away? He's doing it right now. Okay, so maybe it only works for about 4.5 seconds, but you don't think within 5 to 10 years we can figure this out? I think within 5 to 10 years we can figure this out. Greg's VR says VR mainstreaming is 10 years. So Greg's VR is very much like, he sees the long picture here and he says, you guys, it's a long time before anything like this is going to happen. And he says AR like that will be outlawed. Will it? Will AR like this be outlawed? I mean, they're definitely going to have to take into consideration all these humans that are walking around and stuff. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be, imagine trying to be a lawmaker in the next 20 to 30 years with like self-driving cars, all these automated things, artificial intelligence. Man, it is going to be freaking crazy. It is going to be super cool. You know what, guys? I'm on a tangent, and because I'm on a tangent, I'm going to see if I can find a trailer for something. Hold on one second, because I think this is super cool. It kind of relates to the topic that we're on right now. I'm trying to find a trailer for a movie that I've recently seen, which kind of leads me to this whole idea of just how weird everything is going to be in the future. And I think this movie, okay, yeah, I'm going to grab a trailer for this. This is, oh, this is so good. If you guys have not seen this, it's on Netflix, this new movie. I never saw it when it originally came out. But I'm going to grab this trailer and I'll put this on real quick and talk about it for a second, because I'm telling you guys, our future is going to be so freaking awesome. So much crazy shit is going to be popping off in the next 5 to 10 to 15 years. Just a lot of really interesting things. We live in interesting times, ladies and gentlemen. We absolutely live in interesting times. Now, see these glasses here. These are the Intel Vaunt glasses. Bullet Ape says Darwin Awards will be overflowing in this future. They will. They will. The Darwin Awards are going to be outstanding in this future. It's going to be the Hunger Games. They're going to have to broadcast this shit. But see these Intel Vaunt glasses? See, Greg's VR. I'm saying in 10 years, dog, you're going to be able to buy glasses that look no more different than these Vaunt glasses that are going to do that Super Mario thing that we just saw. And you're going to be able to ride your bike in your neighborhood collecting Pac-Man orbs and trying to get away from ghosts and stuff. And it's going to know traffic. It's going to know dogs walking by. We are going to be in a 5G future that is going to be absolutely batshit insane. Okay, I did grab that trailer. So let me show you guys a trailer of a movie that I've seen. A movie that I've seen. That doesn't really make sense. An interesting movie that I have seen recently, and it is on Netflix, is this movie right here. It is called Her, H-E-R. And it features Joaquin Phoenix, right? And this is set... It's set in a future that's like 20 years away or something, or maybe 15 years into the future, right? Directed by Spike Jonze. Pretty freaking good movie here. This movie will have you thinking. It really will have you thinking. But this guy falls in love with like this AI intelligence that like is on a phone or a computer, or basically can be anywhere. And he like really falls in love with this AI. And this is a good movie, dog. I recommend this movie. Check this movie out if you get a chance, because it kind of gives you a feel for this crazy future we're about to get in. And if you guys have Netflix, it's free. It's on Netflix. And I think Joaquin Phoenix, I think he does a great job in this movie. He is the nicest guy ever in this movie. Pretty cool. But anyway, just wanted to bring that up because we are headed for a crazy AR future. This, of course, is the Santa Cruz, which we might be finding out a lot about this in just a couple of weeks. Oculus Connect 5 is coming up very, very soon. So let's see. What are people talking about in chat? T-Dub says, ooh, Olivia Wilde. Yeah, she is in that movie. She plays a real biatch in that movie. Oh, Hybrid Energy says, is that her? That movie was creepy and uncomfortable. It's a weird movie. Yeah, it is creepy. It is uncomfortable. I liked it because it's the kind of movie that will make you think. But yeah, there's some weirdness in that movie as well. I don't think everybody's going to be into that movie, but I thought it was pretty good. Ekin Hawk says, we might have to disable the self-driving to get more coins. And Greg's VR says, we've had console gaming for 35 years already. So see, Greg's VR is trying to be the voice of reason here. He's trying to say, look, you guys that have all your pie-in-the-sky dreams, you're way too ambitious with how fast all of this is going to happen. Greg's VR says, the internet is mainstream. Had it for basically 25 years. Like, you guys don't remember when the internet started. He's had it for 25 years. Now it's mainstream. So Greg's VR... He's making this point that you guys are off the reservation thinking that everything is going to happen so fast, it's going to take more time. And I kind of understand what Greg's VR is saying. I kind of agree with this to a certain degree as well. Greg's VR says phones took half the time, but they're a more critical product. But you know what? I think VR and AR is going to become that kind of critical product. I think it is going to become a critical product because I think as VR and AR start to get better and better and better, people are going to start to get glimpses of it. And they're going to start to realize, oh shit, they're really doing some awesome things with this VR and AR stuff. Okay, I'm going to put it on full screen trailer for a second. I got to close this door because phone keeps ringing. Hold on one sec. I'll be right back. Okay, apologies for that. Phone was just ringing off the hook in the other room. You know, check this out. I'm doing this show. I mean, I started this show at 2 p.m. Pacific time. It is 2:42 p.m. And let me tell you, these lights and this time of day, it is starting to heat the hell up, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to bring the guns out. No, I'm just kidding. But I should have saved my tank top for this episode. It is too freaking hot. Paradise Decay says, answer the phone. It's me. It's probably my grandma. Because who the hell uses a land phone anymore anyways? I can't even believe we still have a land phone in this house. Hybrid Energy says, it took like 4 years to go from 8-bit NES to 16-bit NES, 16-bit Super Nintendo. VR is out publicly since 2016, and we are upset. Yeah, well, what I'm trying to say is, we're in the Atari 2600 days, though. That's where I go back. We're in the Atari 2600 days of VR. And AR is in the Space War days. Like, AR hasn't even made it to the Odyssey, the Magnavox Odyssey. And I'm not talking about Samsung Odyssey. I'm talking about the Magnavox Odyssey. Like, we're in the Atari 2600 days. This is ancient. We are in prehistoric days of VR. And AR hasn't even really gotten started yet. It's in more of like an experimental stage. And so it's going to take us a while. We got to get to the Nintendo Entertainment System era. And then we got to get to the Super Nintendo and Genesis era. And it was like the Super Nintendo and Genesis is when things got really, really big. You know, that's when things started picking up. And we're nowhere near that. But Greg's VR is saying, look, guys, you're tripping. It's going to take a lot longer. It's going to take a much longer time. So let me see here. Did I have any other news stories that I wanted to get into before I get out of here? Because it is hot as heck. I need to get out of here pretty soon. Oh, there is a major news story, actually. Let me see if I can find it here. You know what? I've skipped past it. One sec here. We do have a release date for a pretty big VR game. There is a new release date here. And let me go ahead and show you guys that. So let's see. Okay, so here we go. This is Upload VR, and this is in the news today. Tactical shooter Zero Caliber gets early access launch date, and it will be coming to PlayStation VR as well. And of course, this is by the studio that made A-Tech Cybernetic X-Real Games. They have confirmed to Upload VR that Zero Caliber is coming on November 9th to the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. But on October 25th, they will launch a free demo that will be available as well. So we are going to get Zero Caliber in the near term. Well, you know, November 9th. It's actually a little bit farther away than we thought it was going to be, because originally we had heard that Zero Caliber was actually going to make it out in September. And now we're finding out that this is not going to make it out in September. So this is going to be November 9th, Oculus Store and Steam as well. There will be a big demo for this game on October 25th that we have to look forward to. And this is Zero Caliber from the makers of A-Tech Cybernetic. Really got to figure out this window sizing trick. Yeah, see, at the very end there, it said like September 13th or something, like a demo or something, but I guess all of that got waylaid. This is going to be November 9th, and the demo is on the 25th of October. But it does look pretty good. Now, I think the game does look pretty good, visually speaking, absolutely. Okay, let's see what people are talking about in chat. Crunchy says, yeah, but do you think VR will have a crash like Atari did? We really have to hope not. We have to hope not. We have to hope there's no crash. And then, hold on, I got somebody knocking on my door. Just a second here. Apologies. Shit Show 200. Let's just call it Shit Show 200, folks. So yeah, basically, I'm not getting rated. No, I didn't get rated, but one of my teenage sons just arrived, even though he's normally not supposed to be here at this time. So I don't know what's going on. It is chaos. Paradise Decay. It's Grandma. Why won't you answer the phone, young Anthony? Yeah, and then she started banging on the damn door. That's what it was. My son was calling on the phone like, open the door, open the door. And I try to tell my kids, look, you guys are old enough to have a house key and try to be a responsible adult. Person says he's been smoking the pot. I feel like I've been smoking pot. I'm burning up here. I am sweating. I've got 2 intense bright lights on me. And I'll tell you what, the afternoon in this room is a hell of a lot hotter than it is normally. It is very hot, no question about it. Okay, so anyways, yeah, the news was Zero Caliber, November 9th. Let's see, did I have any other little bits of news? Of course, all of this would happen on episode 200. Of course it would. Why wouldn't this happen on episode 200? Yeah, so I'm going to just throw in a random trailer here, and we can go ahead and maybe check out some websites. Let's see what's going on the various subreddits. Anybody playing Spider-Man 4? I mean, Spider-Man on your PlayStation 4s? Okay, so let's go ahead and... Anthony, you can also invest in a mini split AC system for your man cave. There actually is a vent right there that is connected to my air conditioner, but the problem is this room is just too freaking big for only having one air conditioning duct to go to it. I need like multiple ducts in here. But yeah, I was going to go to the web browser real quick. Let's just go ahead and check these subreddits real fast. And let's see, some guy over at Elite Dangerous created a VTOL style interaction system for Elite Dangerous. Vox Machina release announcement trailer. Where are you guys when I need you? Dude, there is a release announcement. So let me grab this, get it into 4K video downloader, and we will check that out in just a minute. We'll check that out in just a minute, folks. So Vox Machina release announcement. That is big. I'm Andy, lead developer on Conjure Strike, a VR team shooter. Blah, blah, blah. Did Ubisoft Space Junkies totally die or something? What the hell happened to Space Junkies? Yeah, that's kind of weird that we don't have a date or anything for Space Junkies. Okay, I got that new trailer. So let's go back into our normal mode. Let's check out this trailer for Vox Machina and see if we have a date for this or what is going on. Let's check this out.
Pilot a grinder, the ultimate destructive machine. Grab hold of the controls and stomp your way to victory online or against bots. Team up in explosive 16-player deathmatch and objective-based combat. Be the pilot. Customizable loadouts, incredible physics, and satisfying destruction. Vox Machina from Space Bullet on monitors and virtual reality early this fall. Wishlist today. You pilot a grinder.
What? That ain't a date? I thought we were going to get a release date. Early this... Did they say early fall or did they just say this fall? Did he say early fall? I thought we were going to get an actual release date. So, and we got hosed on that one. But it is a brand new trailer. It is Vox Machina, and this is another big game. Like, if this was coming out September as well, it'd be too much.
On monitors and virtual reality early this fall.
Early this fall. Okay, early this fall. So this could be an October release, folks. And you know what? Probably a good month for it, because there is a lot going on in September. There is a lot going on. So probably better if this is a September release. But yeah, this new trailer does look pretty hype. It does look very good. Graphics look awesome. So let me go ahead and go back over to this web browser here. They're talking about the Space Channel 5 trailer, but we already saw that. We saw that like Monday. They're kind of late to the party on that. Let me see what they're talking about at Oculus. Vox Machina coming soon to Oculus Rift early this fall. That is probably the big news story of the day. And the Oculus Go is the best non-phone gadget of 2018. This is by Forbes.com. And you know what? I can't argue with this, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot argue with this at all. In fact, I was playing my Oculus Go more last night. I continue to play my Oculus Go. I continue to use my Oculus Go. In fact, you know what game I was playing again is Drop Dead. I was playing Drop Dead for my Oculus Go, and I continue to enjoy it. I continue to like it. It just works so well. It's just freaking flawless, you know? It's like I'm playing like the regular version of Drop Dead on an Oculus Rift. There's no loss. I'm going to be going to a barbecue birthday party tomorrow night, and I'm bringing my Oculus Go with me, and I'm going to put a lot of people into Drop Dead. I'm going to put a lot of people into Drop Dead, and I'm going to put a lot of people into Amaze 3D. Those are the two things that I'm going to put people in, Drop Dead and Amaze 3D. And I think people are going to be blown away because I'm going to tell them, look, this Oculus Go thing, it is an all-in-one device for $199 plus tax, you know, $218. But I'm playing this on my Go. It works so well. I got my controller in my hand, and I'm having a really nice VR experience that is very clean, very crisp. The playability works very good. Maybe because it's just such a basic game, you're not really doing anything and you really only need your trigger. It's almost like the game was just perfectly designed for the Go from the standpoint that you don't notice like all of the Go's shortcomings. Somehow with this game Drop Dead, you don't really notice like the shortcomings that the Oculus Go features, and it just works so damn well. So yeah, I'd have to agree. I am not going to lie. The Oculus Go is the best non-phone gadget of 2018. I am inclined to agree at this point. I really am. So that's one of the things they're talking about over here on the Oculus subreddit. The Wizards is on a weekend deal for $8. You know how I always talk about these sales. There is always a sale going on. Archangel Hellfire has a new update. And an 11 table tennis VR tournament is going to be starting soon. There's a lot of other stuff going on as well. But you know what, guys? I think I'm going to go ahead and get out of here a little bit early, in the show a little bit early, less than an hour. It is crazy hot in here. It is burning up. And I have to pick up my other son from school as well. So I got to go ahead and get out of here pretty soon. But basically, guys, Paradise Decay says, Anthony, just keep them away from the Barbie. I think he's talking about my Oculus Go. Like, don't get it too close to the barbecue. Absolutely not. Paradise Decay says, September 14th is Vox Machina's Press 5 Devs Day. So is it coming out? Is it coming out on September 14th? I hope not, because we got too many games right now. They just said early fall. Let's see. Is it coming out? September 14th is tomorrow, right? Why wouldn't they just say it's coming out tomorrow if that's the case? But anyway, yeah. It just said early fall as far as I can tell. But yeah, anyway, guys, don't use Oculus Go outside in general. Yeah, the danger of sun and all of that, that is definitely a big problem. And so, yeah, that is part of it. All right, guys, but I'm going to go ahead and bounce out of here. It has been a wee bit of a shit show. I am burning up over here. Late afternoon, Sacramento is still a very hot place. Now you guys know why I was wearing that tank top yesterday, but that's going to go ahead and do it. So be sure to go ahead and bounce over to the website if you get a chance. Go ahead and subscribe to the show, like the show, all those kinds of things. And I will be back tomorrow at 11 a.m. It's going to be a lot cooler, a lot more comfortable, and hopefully we'll have some big news stories and all that other stuff. And hopefully I won't have somebody banging on my window, phones ringing off the hook, and all kinds of craziness. So hopefully that will be the situation tomorrow. All right, guys, see you then. Take it easy. Later.